Hello, everyone. Nice to see you again. Hello. Hello, Dexter. You saying hello to the children? Oh, I think he wants to have a sniff. I wonder if you want to have a sniff now? Right away. Are you okay with that? Here he comes for his sniff. You say hi. Oh, he started sniffing already. Well, he says, is that true? He says he can sniff snow. Have you had any snow this week? And have you played in it? Because I think Dexter can smell it. That's very clever of you, Dexter. Yes. So today we're going to carry on with our Growing in God's Love series, and we're on number 4. More than halfway through. And I wonder if you can remember the verses of the Bible that we've learnt so far. I think if you can remember these, you are doing very well. You're very clever. So our first one only had 3 words in it. Mm. Can you remember that? You think you can? You ready? God is love. God is love. That was our first verse. That was an easy verse, wasn't it? And our second verse, well, that was a bit harder. And it was about whether things could separate us from God. Do we think anything can separate us from God? Absolutely not. No, we don't think that at all, do we? Because the Bible tells us that, here's the verse, nothing can separate us from the love of God. Nothing, not even ourselves. We cannot even separate ourselves from God's love. And then we had another verse last week, our third text from the Bible. And do you remember it was about circles? We talked about circles last week, about the fact that they always last. They don't have an end. They just keep going round and round. And the verse was, give thanks to the Lord, his love endures, do you remember that word? Forever. So give thanks to the Lord, his love endures forever. Wow, they are very clever children, aren't they? Yes, you are, because you've now remembered 3 parts of the Bible, and that is amazing. And the more of the Bible we learn, the better it will be for the rest of our lives, because we'll be sure that God loves us. And that's true. So we're going to learn another verse from the Bible, all about God's love. But Dexter, I need both my hands, so I can't carry you. I'm going to have to put you down. Oh, I'm sorry. But you can still play, but you can play and join in down on the floor. How's that? Yeah? Okay then. Just wait a second, girls and boys, while I put Dexter on the floor. Down you go, Dex. Oh, there you go. You sit there and you can do the actions with me from where you are. So this verse is in the Bible, in the New Testament, and it's in the book of Romans. Yeah, Romans. And it's Romans 5. Can you do 5? And then it's verse number 8. So it's Romans 5 verse 8. And we're going to do some actions, and that's going to help us to learn the verse. Are you ready? Okay, so the first word is God. Can you do that? Point to the sky. God. God showed. So I like you're showing somebody something. Can you do that action? Showed. So let's put them together. God showed. And this one's a lovely little word and a lovely action. His love. So you get to give yourself a cuddle. Or you could cuddle somebody else, I suppose. But the action is to cuddle yourself. Should we put that together? God showed his love. So God showed his love. Now this time we need to say to us. So this is quite good fun. So you can point. I'm going to point to Dexter and to all of you guys, but I've got to point to myself as well. So we get to do this. Point to all the people in your house and all the people that you can see. And that's to us. So let's put that all together. We're nearly there. God showed his love to us in this. And the reason why we have to point downwards and firm is because we can depend on it. It's absolutely sure that God has shown us how much he loves us. All right? So absolutely sure, like planting it in the ground. God showed his love to us in this. Now the next action's a bit tricky. You have to put your two hands together like as if you were being arrested by a policeman. And this action tells us about sin and the fact that sometimes we do things wrong. I think probably you do things wrong sometimes. I do things wrong sometimes too. And those things are called sin. And every one of us is exactly the same. We are sinners. And sin chains us up, the Bible says. It makes us not be able to do the things that God designed us to do. And ultimately, it'll keep us away from God forever, and we don't want that, do we? And God doesn't want that. So that's the action for sinners. While we were sinners, Christ, now for Christ, we're going to make a curly cur shape and put it over your heart, because that's where he wants to live, in our hearts. Christ, that's another name for Jesus. Yeah. Now that's quite tricky. Should we put all those together? So remember, it starts with God showed his love to us in this. While we were sinners, Christ. Now, do you remember what Jesus did? He did amazing miracles, but the one thing he came to do was to die on a cross. So that's our action. So you need a lot of space for this action. Died for us. And that's the end of our verse. So shall we see if we can put it all together? So it was from Romans 5, verse 8. God showed his love to us in this. While we were sinners, Christ died for us. Now, you could practice that, because you could play this again and again and practice it. And the more you practice it, the more you remember it, because that is the hardest one we've done yet. I think we might try it right at the end. We'll try it and see if we can remember some of the actions. But before we do anything else, we'll have a song, and then we're going to have some craft ideas.
I can be loud or quiet, tall or itty bitty. I might live on a farm or in the city, and Jesus is always gonna love me. Jesus loves me. Jesus loves me. I can be happy or sad, a guy or a lady, friendly or sleepy or silly or crazy, and Jesus is always gonna love me. Jesus loves me. Jesus loves me. Do-do-do-do-do, 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 do-do-do-do-do.
That was a good song, wasn't it? That was a new one for me. I really liked it. I was singing along with that one. Now, all about God's love, that's what we're talking about, isn't it? So today, for our craft activity, we're going to try to make a lovely window decoration like this one. You can make it any size you like. But before we start, and to make this first one, to make this, what you need to do is you need to make a lovely love heart shape. So you just take a piece of A4 paper. Dexter's just watching, aren't you, Dexter? And we fold it in half, long ways, just like this. Okay, and then if you look at this, we need to have a small love heart and a big love heart, yeah? So we take our pen, and in order to draw a nice symmetrical love heart, you just need to draw one half, and then when you cut it out, it'll be perfect. So if I draw the first love heart, and let's say we'll make it a little bit smaller, this one, like an ear, but it comes to a point, like that. Can you see that? Now the trick is, if you try to draw this just with a pen or a pencil straight away, both sides, they wouldn't match. So what we need to do now is, so we can make a border that we can put on the outside of our heart, we just need to draw another line, follow the same line, but just about 1 centimetre up, so that there's a gap between the two hearts, like that. Okay, and then, really easy, we're going to cut it out. Now you can let your children cut it out if they like scissors and they're not bad with a pair of scissors. Clearly don't use a great big pair like this. And we just cut out the shape. So there's our outside. And then this is really the easiest way to do this, because then you can cut the inside without having to force the scissors through. So there we go, right round. Like that. So now we've only got this little bit left. But when we open it up, we have a lovely love heart shape. So we need 2 of those for our design, and these bits aren't wasted. You might think, oh, what a waste, but actually we can use those, because you could make a little card for maybe somebody that you love. Should we ask Dexter if he's got a girlfriend? Dex, have you got a girlfriend? Oh, he's not saying. Are you not going to tell me? No. Must be a secret. Well, I'll leave that one there, and then you can make your girlfriend one of those lovely cards. Now then, we need 2 pieces of love heart. So when you've made 2 pieces of these, in the middle, we need to have something that we can stick our tiny, tiny love hearts on. So what we use is something see-through. So you could use laminating sheets, but they're a bit hard to see through, aren't they? Or you could, you hold on to those for me, Dexter. You could, like I did, I had some poly pockets left, these polythene pockets. So all I did was I chopped the end off like this. No, but we don't need that piece there. So just chop the end off. Oops. And that gives, these scissors aren't very good. And then that gives us a nice big piece of paper to work with, which is more than big enough for our love heart. And then we can start sticking the little hearts on. Now, same technique, fold your paper over and just make tiny, tiny hearts. It looks like confetti. Can you see? All the tiny little love hearts, just made in the same way. Fold the paper over and cut it, and then they're identical. Or you could cheat if you've got a hole punch that makes love heart punches. That would be even better. So all we do is we use a glue stick, just an ordinary kid's glue stick, and we glue the plastic, the see-through plastic. We glue that on first. Doesn't matter if it overlaps the edges, because we can trim it up afterwards. And then this is the bit kids love, because kids all love glue sticks. Very small children like to eat them, so just keep an eye on that. And then just lots and lots and lots of the glue stick over the whole area, And then you can, if you've got a very particular child, they might like to artistically place the little love hearts on top. And if you've got a child who just likes to get the craft over and done with, they might just want to sprinkle it from above. Either technique works lovely. I'll show you the sprinkle. There we go. And they will all stick. If I lift that up, you'll be able to see that they stick. So then you just add your second love heart on the top and trim around the edges. And then you'll be left with something that looks like this. Now, I've written the Bible verse from last week. Oh no, it's this week's actually. Romans 5 verse 8. I have written that verse, but God, should we do the actions? But God showed his love to us in this. While we were sinners, Christ died for us. And that's the verse I've written on there, but you could write anything on there. You could write the names of your family on there if you wanted to. And then you can hang it in your window. You could hang it now, or you could make lots of them and hang them up for Valentine's Day. That'd be lovely, with all different rainbow colours inside. So that's our craft for today. I'll just put the lid on the glue stick in case Dexter wants to eat it. And then we also have a game, because last week we played Spot the Circle. Do you remember where you had to go and find things? Oh, do you know what? I've just spotted a circle. My glass that I had all my little confetti bits in. That's a circle, isn't it? No end. Oh, look, another circle. Well, that was a good game. And there's another game you can play, which is nice and colourful, like the colourful hearts we've put on our love heart today. And that is finding things that are the same colour. So you can do it as a scavenger hunt. Do you know what that means? That means that you've got to find as many things around the house or outside that are a particular colour. So you could choose red and say, go and find me something that is red. Well, I've got a red tablecloth. I'd rather not take it off the table right now, but we've got a red tablecloth. Or we could say, find me something that is yellow. Kids love going running and finding, and it's really good for their language to learn about colours and learn about the different shades of colour, and also keeps them busy. So I hope you've enjoyed some of those craft ideas. I think it might be time for a story. Should we have a story? Yeah, we're going to have a story. Well, time for a story, I think. And our story today isn't a Bible story. It's a story. Here we go. You see the story? Do you know that story by Sam McBratney? Guess how much I love you. Yeah, this is a soppy story. Right, are we ready? Little Nut Brown Hare, who was going to bed, held on tight to Big Nut Brown Hare's very long ears. Can you see the picture? It's holding on tight. He wanted to make sure that Big Nut Brown Hare was listening. Guess how much I love you, he said. Oh, I don't think I could guess that, said Big Nut Brown Hare. This much, said Little Nut Brown Hare, and he stretched his arms as wide as he could. Can you see? Yeah, he's stretching his arms really wide. Can you stretch your arms wide? Oh, Big Nut Brown Hare had even longer arms. But I love you this much, he said. That is a long way, thought Little Nut Brown Hare. I love you as high as I can reach. Can you see him reaching really high? Can you see, Dex? Yeah, he's reaching really, really high. That's like us when we sing our song. We won't ever go at that afterwards. That's very high. I love you, said Big Nut Brown Hare, as high as I can reach. Ooh, that is high, thought Little Nut Brown Hare. I wish I had arms like that. I think one day we'll have, won't he, when he grows into a bigger hare. Whoops. Then Little Nut Brown Hare had a good idea. He tumbled upside down and he reached up the tree trunk with his feet. Can you see him? I love you all the way up to my toes, he said. Big Nut Brown Hare scooped him up and said, I love you all the way up to your toes, said Big Nut Brown Hare. He swung him up over his head. He's having a great big whizzer there, isn't he? I love you as high as I can hop, laughed Little Nut Brown Hare. Are you hopping? Can you hop at home? Can you hop like a little rabbit? He bounced up and down. But I love you as high as I can hop, said Big Nut Brown Hare, and he hopped so high that he touched the branches above. That is very high, isn't it? Thought Little Nut Brown Hare, I wish I could hop like that. I love you all the way down the lane as far as the river, cried Little Nut Brown Hare. I love you across the river, over the hills, said Big Nut Brown Hare. That's very far, thought Little Nut Brown Hare. But he was almost too sleepy to think any more, and he looked beyond the thorn bushes, out into the big dark night. Nothing could be further than the sky. I wonder what he's going to say next. I love you right up to the moon, he said, and he closed his eyes. Oh, that's far, said Big Nut Brown Hare. That is very, very far. Big Nut Brown Hare settled Little Nut Brown Hare onto his bed of leaves for a sleep. He leaned over and he kissed him good night. Yeah, he's giving him a kiss. Then he lay down close by and whispered with a smile, I love you, right up to the moon and back. Did you like that story? You did. Which was your favourite part of the story? Have a think. What was your favourite part? Oh, the bouncing part. I thought that might be your favourite part of the story. So, in that story, Little Nut Brown Hare was asking Big Nut Brown Hare to guess how much he loved him. But we've learnt today that we don't need to guess how much God loves us, do we? No, because God has shown us. Can you remember our memory verse? Should we do it? Should we do it together? Do you want to see if you can do it on my knee? God showed his love, let's have a cuddle, love to us in this. While we were still sinners, Christ died for us. Did you do that along at home? And it's found in Romans 5 verse 8. I think we've got time, just about enough time to sing our song. Are you ready? You're going to try to stretch high. You are? Okay. Are we ready? Jesus' love is very wonderful. Jesus' love is very wonderful. Jesus' love is very wonderful. Oh, wonderful love. His love is so high. You can't get over it. So low. You can't get under it. So wide. You can't get out of it. Oh, wonderful love. And it is a wonderful love, boys and girls, and mums and dads. Really is a wonderful love. Well, have a lovely week, and we'll see you all next week, won't we? Yeah? For some more fun and some more games. And see if you can remember that new Bible verse. Bye-bye.